here. So in today's lesson, we're going to look at this lick. But not only that, we're going to also look at how you can take the basic pattern of this one and move it around in the E minor pentatonic in this case. The purpose of doing that is to show you how you can take a sequence, a lick or whatever and move it around in the tonality that you first learn it, but you can also move it around to other tonalities. Basically, you can expand your vocabulary very quickly this way because you're not just learning one lick that's in one key and you can only do it there. You actually understand what the whole thing is about, and then you might find different versions that you think sound even better than the original. So it's a really cool way to expand your vocabulary, and you can still learn licks from players that you love. And I think that combination is one of the best ways of getting better at the instrument overall. So first of all, there's no tabs for this one. You should be able to follow along fairly easily here. Otherwise, just rewind. Slightly slower, sounds like this. And it's a lot of fives basically. So we have this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you number the notes from left to right, 1, 2, 3. Sequence would be 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So, and we do that in this day 1 E minor pentatonic position, just expanded with one more note on each string. So we got do that on the B string. Just be careful to keep the picking alternate here. So you got down, up. It's exactly the same fingering here actually. So, and then the next group of 5 is going to start in the next positions. We shift up here. It's quite a big shift, but it's fine if you practice it. And then from here we're going to do this sort of rolling 5. So instead of going 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So we got. And the next 5 will be like the previous 5. Same fingering on the next string, just 1 fret down. So you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have another rolling 5. And then the first pattern of 5s. Rolling. And then finally. So starting from the beginning, we have 2 of the same pattern, but after that we go every other time. So rolling, 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 and done. So first off, these rolling patterns, they're really there to help you shift positions. You could have gone maybe shift up here, and this can actually help you improvise. Or whatever, you get the idea. A bit of slop here, but just bear with me here. So you can see that on each string group, you can basically choose where you want to go to the left, or where you want to go to the right. And in between all those, we have that initial pattern. So again, I shift up, I'm here, and if I shift on here, then I can move on here, and then could keep going however far I want. So this rolling 5 then can take you either to the right or the left on each string group. You can even start with the rolling 5, so you can go. So you can basically just play around with that, and eventually you can be more spontaneous. Come up with stuff like that. Anyway, to be able to do that, then you need to be able to play this thing, right, and be comfortable in each of the pentatonic positions on each string. And the same thing goes with this one. So a good way to get there is to just do that. Take it through all 5 positions and practice them individually. And then you can, once you've done that with all of them, you can basically just sit there and improvise very slowly. As slow as you need to, so you can sort of control what you're doing, but it's not a prefabricated long picking run. So basically using these patterns as small building blocks, like Lego bricks basically, that you can put together. You don't only have to make the Death Star if that's what you bought. You can also make a, I don't know, gas station if you want, I guess, with the same pieces. Hopefully you get what I mean. So you can take the same Lego pieces and build something else, and that's sort of the same idea here. So you can take this longer phrase that I showed you in the beginning, but now you pick it apart, and then you can see the different building blocks. And that's sort of the mindset that's really good to have when you learn anything. So again, if we take this throughout the pentatonic scale then, and I'm just going to do this in E minor now, so you can just Google E minor pentatonic shapes, and then you'll find them if you're not familiar with them. You should be though, so get that down if you haven't. And then be careful when you start down here as well, because it's quite stretchy. But this is the lowest position I can start in, so I'm gonna go just working on the initial 5. Let's do that in each position. But do it at a tempo where everything is perfect, so don't try to do these tempos. I practice slower than this when I practice, so there's no need to try to get these building blocks down by practicing them faster than you're able to, because you won't learn them any faster. You will just get sloppy. So and you go on the whole in every position. So even though you're basically doing the same thing here as you did here, but an octave higher, it's still worth working on. So you're used to seeing them all over the fretboard. And then you can do the same with the groups of 5, this one, the rolling one. The rolling one though is kind of tricky to go from string to string, and it's not really the point, because what gets you from one string to the next in this instance is the... So again, this one is just to get you either left or right. So one thing you can do with the rolling 5s is just go up and down in each string, just to get used to it. So you go... Next string. You do this with every string. And one thing that I like to do is to use a timer. If you want, get a lot of practice in here, maybe you do 5 minutes per string. So you can sit for half an hour and just work on the E minor pentatonic. And maybe the day after you do the same thing, but you do A minor pentatonic on each strings. So for example, let's say I do A minor pentatonic. Starting on the D string would sound like this. So hopefully you get the idea here. So you want to do this on the A string and the E string as well. If you have a 7-string guitar, congratulations, you will practice for 35 minutes if you use this approach. So you get 5 minutes better than everyone else. So hopefully this can give you some ideas on how you can get this stuff together. And to be honest, I'd practiced so much picking before this, so my synchronization, was pretty good. So it was mainly about learning how to get from each of these patterns and do that in different ways. So if I do this in A minor, I will sit around like this for a long time, but slower actually. I would probably, more like, whoops, still made a mistake. So this is where it's really good to use some sort of drone as well. So maybe have or just a backing track. And the tempo of the backing track doesn't really matter, because let's say the tempo is this. Then you can, instead of going taka 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 taka, that would probably be too fast to do this sort of improvisational approach initially, at least. Maybe you try eighth notes, just go. Or quarter notes. Right, so you can always change the subdivision. If you're not familiar with the term subdivision, it just means how many notes you play per click, or whatever the main tempo is. Let's say a song is in 120 BPMs and you play 16th notes, that would mean 4 notes evenly played over that on each click, basically. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1, and 8th note triples would be 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1, and so on. So I highly suggest that you check out some tutorial on subdivisions if this feels confusing, but that can really help you connect to the time feel of something, because otherwise we're all playing by ear. But if you know that, okay, I'm supposed to fit 3 notes here, within each beat, and you know that, and you can hear it, then it's much easier for you to be able to play in time and also hear what's going wrong if you screw it up. So I highly encourage that. But again, just take this lick as it is, and then learn it, as is. And then you take these sequences and try them out in different keys, basically. So start with a key that you're really comfortable with, and then expand from there. So then you're working on your picking, you're working on your fretboard knowledge, and also if you have the drone ring in the background, you're also working on your ears. So give this a try, and if you're still watching at this point but you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future lessons. Back in the day, I used to have real issues with fast alternate picking when it came to 2 notes per string. I was fine with 3 notes per string, but the 2 note per string thing was a bit harder to crack. So if you struggle with fast alternate picking as well, and you don't know what to practice or for how long, I've created the perfect solution for you in the form of the Pentatonic Picking Power Book. So in this book, you'll find a daily workout that will not only help your pentatonic picking, but will also upgrade your overall alternate picking technique. So it contains basically the same exercises I use myself to develop my picking abilities, as well as numerous students over the years that I've given the same exercise to with great results. So I know these exercises work as long as you put in the work. So it's not a quick solution or quick fix. It will still take a lot of work, but at least you have a very easy to follow routine. So if you're up for a big alternate picking upgrade in 2024, I cannot think of a better start.